Hello, and welcome back to Evolve Finance. In this video, we were going to cover the Investments and Compounding Interest tab. Let's start on the Investments tab. First, you'll notice a few items here on the tab. The investment total, investments plus savings, the investment tracker table, the investment history table. If you scroll to the right, there's a few charts that will populate as you fill in your tables. Okay, let's start with the investment tracker table. So for an example, we're going to input a few assets. Let's start with a 401k. Most people get this with their job or their employer. Let's say we have 10,000 in the 401k. Next, let's say we have an investment account, or also known as a brokerage account. We'll just call it broker account. And let's say there's 5,000 in there. Last, for an example, let's say we have a Roth IRA. And let's say there's 3,500 in there. You'll notice as you update the investment tracker table, your investment portfolio will update to show the accounts as well as their values. You'll also notice if you continue scrolling right, you get an additional view of your investment accounts. In this case, you get the percentage breakdown. And this percentage breakdown is the percent of your accounts when you look at the total. So, for example, our total was 18,500. Out of our 18,500, 54% of that is the 401k, 19% the Roth IRA, and 27% the broker account. Okay. Now, let's look at the investment history. When you start this exercise, you should input the amount that you're coming into this with. So, for example, let's say you've purchased this template and you're filling it out, and you already have, we'll use this number here, 18,500 invested. So we're just going to put 18,500. Then, as you continue to use this month after month, you should input the amount that you invested. So, for example, let's say next month I invested $500. This means my total invested is 19,000. How is that calculated? It took the previous total, 18,500, and added in the amount that I invested this month, $500. Now, each month you need to manually update your value of the investments that you have. So for example, let's say a month has gone by and we're now at, and I'm just making up numbers. Let's keep it easy. Let's just say this has gone up to 11,000. This has gone up to 6,000. And let's say this is gone up to 4,000. Okay, now my total is 21,000. And what's neat about this table here is you now get a view of how much have I invested versus the total value of my accounts. And if you come down to this chart here, you can see the delta or the difference or the return of how much you've invested in the total value of your investments, which will lead us right into talking about compounding interest. So compounding interest is a beautiful tool that works more in your favor the younger that you start. So let's go ahead and use the numbers from our investments tab. So let's say we are starting with 21,000. And let's say the average return is 10% in the market, or your return is an average of 10%. And let's say you invest $500 each month. After 30 years, you'll be projected to have about $1.3 million. And you can adjust these numbers. More specifically, you will adjust these boxes that are colored. And you can play around with it. So for example, let's say we start with $21,000. We have an 8% return, but we're investing $1,000 a month. Over 30 years in the market, you'd be projected to have almost $1.6 million. Pretty crazy. Now, Let's jump over and talk about this table here. What this table is saying is it is taking this value here and it assumes that you do not invest a single additional dollar. And it is going to show you what your return would be after various rates or various return rates and different varying amount of years in the market. So for example, let's go ahead and let's just say we have $10,000. So this would read that if I had $10,000 and I did not invest an additional dollar, after 1 year at a 5% return, I would be estimated to have $10,500. Similarly, if I have a 10% return, but let's say I did not invest an additional dollar for 25 years, I would have a projected or estimated $108,000. And again, this is for informational purposes only. This is in no way a guarantee. So, this is compounding interest, and compounding interest is demonstrated right here. And you can get a good idea of the difference on the impact of continually investing over an extended period of time. So you think of it this way: if I took my $10,000 at 8% return and I did not invest $1,000 a month for 30 years, then I'm projected to only have $100,000. So that is a difference of $100,000 if I did not invest any additional money compared to a projected $1.4 million if I continue to invest $1,000 monthly. So this is the beauty of compounding interest. And you can have fun playing around with these numbers. The idea is to keep you motivated and give you visibility into what the future can hold. Okay, well, this has covered the investments in compounding interest tab. Again, if you have any questions, please refer to the guide or feel free to reach out to us on social or email us. Stay tuned for the next video where we're going to cover the debt tracker and the loan evaluator and the net worth. Thank you and see you in the next one.